Good day. We are the Group 1 and we are going to present to you the history of swimming. Human beings have been swimming for thousands of years. It is believed that the man learned to swim by observing animals. It is believed that the initial stroke that was observed and used was that of the dog's thrusting itself through the water. By then, the dog paddle was imitated and used. One of the earliest representations of swimming showing carving on the walls dating back to 9000 BC showed pictures of swimmers. Swimming is a part of the training of Greek, Romans, warriors during the Middle Ages. The Greeks, Romans, Anglo-Saxon, and Scandinavians' classical heroes dealt with the greatest feast of swimming prowess. Other depictions of swimming is found in ancient Egyptian wall relief that shows soldiers of Pharaoh Ramesses II pursuing their enemies by swimming across the Orontes River between ancient Egypt and Asia Minor. On the other hand, the crawl stroke was most likely developed independently in various areas of the world several hundred years ago. Swimmers in South Pacific used scrolls-like strokes long before they were used in Europe. Native Americans also used overarm crawl strokes.
In 1844, two members of the Native American Ojibwa tribe named the Flying Gull and Tobacco traveled to England to compete and won and become national celebrities. Competitive swimming began in England. It conducted a swimming meet in London in 1862. In 1866, swimming for men was included in the first modern Olympic Games in Athens. Women started to compete in Olympic swimming in 1912, held in Stockholm. G. Arthur Trajan, also an Englishman, refined the crawl stroke in 1880. In 1906, Charles Daniel developed the American crawl, which was molded after the Australian crawl. Swimming techniques evolved constantly as swimmers searched for ways to improve their performances. During the late 1980s, American swimmer David Berkoff perfected a technique called underwater dolphin. Eventually, backstroke and butterfly swimmers adopted the technique. In open water swimming, Australia's Susie Maroney performed several feats previously thought impossible. In 1997, she became the first person to swim the 169 kilometers or 105 miles straight between Havana and Cuba in Key West, Florida. The following year, she completed a 206 kilometer or 128 miles swimming from Isla Mujeres, Mexico to Las Tumbas Beach in Cuba. In 1999, Maroney swam the 196 kilometers or 100 miles distance from Jamaica to Cuba. Captain Matthew Webb of England swam across the England Channel on August 24 and 25, 1875, using breaststroke, paving the way to open water swimming.
The American military men introduced swimming as a comparative sport in the country. Through the pioneering efforts of YMCA leaders working among the American military forces, the sport impressed upon the Filipinos who saw in 1907 the construction of the first swimming pool in the country of Fort McKinley YMCA. The holding of the first dual swimming meet between Manila YMCA and the Fort McKinley YMCA in 1910 marked the formal inception in the Philippines of swimming as competitive sports. During the Far Eastern Games held at Manila in 1913, the Philippine team composed of Conrado Binetes, J. Del Pan, C.I. Ville, and El Cristobal won the championship against China and Japan.
In 1924, Teofilo Ildefonso, a Philippine scout soldier of the U.S. Army, won recognition as the greatest Filipino swimmer for his feats in national champion meets. The Far East and Olympic Games, Muslims, Filipinos from Sulu also made names in national championship competitions. Great Muslim swimmers before World War II were Jikerum Adhaluddin, Arasad Alpad, Tuburan, Akang Nakaira, Nakaria, and Asday Tahil. The succeeding years up to 1951 saw the staging of the 6th Formosa Philippines Bienal Swimming Championship meets, the 19th and 20th Far Easter Games, and the series of Manila-Hong Kong Interport Swimming meets wherein Filipino men and women swimmers showed outstanding performance. The Kaiko Nulsali Madin, Muhammad Mala, Eugenio Palilio, Artemio Salamat, Serafin Villanueva, Artemio Villavejia, Lourdes Alba, Encarnacion Partilo, and Erudito Vito.
Women swimmers competed in 1931 National Women's Championship meet at the Rizal Memorial Pool where the University of the Philippines won. The PWU women's team won the championship in 1934. Women's participations in swimming competitions were held yearly since then. The first Asian Games, held in New Delhi in 1951, gave the Filipino swimmers the opportunity to participate once again in international competition. Among the swimmers were Artemio Salamat, Jacinto Kaiko, and Nurata Brahab. The second Asian Games were held in Manila in 1954. Our swimmers who earned honors for our country was Parso Nabula, Amado Jimenez, Robert Collins, Heidi Coloso, and Jacinto Kaiko. The participants to the third Asian Games in Tokyo in 1958 brought honors to the country. They were Bana Sailana, Walter Brown, Rodolfo Agustin, Lorenzo Cortez, Heidi Coloso, and Jocelyn Von Gis. The fourth Asian Games at Jakarta, Indonesia in 1962 marked another significant victory for the Filipino swimmers. They placed sixth, and the standouts were Heidi Espino, Gertrude Luzada, Sampang Hassan, and Rolando Landrito.
PASA launched a relatively well-rounded and systematic program of development for the purpose of reinforcing the Philippines against the challenges from other countries. The first age group overseas program was in the Philippines Hong Kong YMCA, which started in 1968. From then on, Hong Kong and Philippines is hosting alternately this annual swim meet. The program continued until 1978. In 1970, the first Asian age group was hosted by Singapore. This is the first age group swimming team sent by the Philippines Amateur Swimming Association. With the leadership of Eduardo Ledesma and former national standout like Ral Rosario and Eric Buhain, PASA attained remarkable progress in the development of swimming, such as projects as regular age group competition, coach-to-coach program, annual swimmer development program, Olympic development swimming program, community pools construction program, Milo Learn to Swim program, and National Swimming Grand Prix were launched.
Today, a fresh start in the Philippine swimming now unfolding with the creation of Aquatic Sports Association of the Philippines, ASAP. ASAP is a non-stock, non-profit organization registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. As stated in its articles of incorporation, ASAP aims to promote swimming and other aquatic sports throughout the country and to recruit, train, and international competition. ASAP is headed by Attorney Luz Arzaga Mendoza's president, with Attorney Jane Ong as a vice president, Susan Papa, secretary, Beth Mascardo of Synchronized Swimming, Treasurer Augusto Bonilla, and Cesar Espino trustees. The Swimming Association is also strengthening its membership base and renewing its campaign for both individuals and groups to unite under the ASAP banner. It is now working on the education and certification of all local swim coaches and instructors with the end in view of upgrading the quality of coaching in the Philippines. This will involve a series of level certification for those concerned in the different aspects of coaching. At present, the ASAP leadership is committed to a policy of governance and will be transparent in all its affairs, hiding nothing and simply working towards the betterment of swimming in the country.